Pisces Souls. Welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you are here. My name is Nikki, and I use my clairaudience and channeling abilities to help people find the magic within. I channel messages from creative expressions such as movies, books, and music. I am excited and honored to be doing this reading for you today. I am channeling messages from urban legends. So last weekend, I went garage selling with my uncle, his wife, and my baby cousin Kennick. And at one of the garage sales, I found this book for $1. The Encyclopedia of Urban Legends. And there is so much information in here. I'm excited to read all of this, but I had the idea to channel some messages from this book. So how the reading will work, there are 496 pages in this book. I'm going to use a random number generator, so Spirit will choose the page number that your urban legend is on. I will read the urban legend, see what I feel intuitively, and then I will do an intuitive card reading to get some additional messages for you. So let's see what your urban legend is, Pisces. We have page number 4. We'll go to that page. Okay, your urban legend is called Accidents. Ancient legends represent a major category of urban legends that include stories about perilous mishaps that are either gruesome or hilarious, sometimes both. Almost always they are bizarre. Excluding the stories about automobile accidents discussed under that heading, there are about 30 well-known urban legends that focus specifically on interesting and dangerous things that supposedly happened by accident. The gruesome accident legends include stories about contact lenses welded to the cornea, butane lighters detonating in a shirt pocket, Pop Rocks candy exploding in the stomach, and fingers being slashed off when a power lawn mower is misused. Another lost finger story describes an industrial accident in which a worker gestures to demonstrate how he lost a finger in a factory machine, thereby cutting off another finger in a repeat of the accident. Hilarious accident stories often describe equally gruesome situations, but with a laughable angle. For example, a husband is blown off an exploding toilet. Surely a painful experience. But the situation causes the rescuing paramedics to laugh so hard that they drop the stretcher he's being carried on. In another comical accident story, a woman has a painful skiing accident while her pants are pulled down, which leads a ski instructor to have his own accident and eventually to confront the embarrassed woman with an account of his funny but painful experience. The bizarre quality of most accident legends is well illustrated in the gruesome story of the scuba diver in the tree. The extremely unlikely means by which the victim ended up in such a situation are beyond belief, although many people retold the story as the gospel truth. Perhaps the most bizarre of all accident legends is the failed suicide, in which multiple attempted methods of death cancel each other out in rapid succession, and the would-be victim remains alive. So what I'm feeling from that quite a bit, Pisces, is a lot of you may like horror movies, such as myself, and when people, like in cheesy horror movies, when they're killed in like really ridiculous ways, I'm seeing that some of that is found comical by you, and I completely resonate with this. I actually have this thing in horror movies. When I see one of the most ridiculous deaths I've ever seen, I will video it on my phone, and I actually do plan to create a video about that sometime. So that will be interesting. But I'm seeing you think it's like certain accidents that happen in a comical way that brings humor. I'm seeing a lot of that. But let's get some cards here and see what Spirit is bringing through about this, because Spirit may have a different message here. The first card, the first deck of cards we're using is the Fairies of the Oracle deck. Thank you, Spirit. What are your additional messages for my Pisces souls? We have moderation. Is there something you know you shouldn't be eating? Try to eat mindfully and healthily, although the fairies say that a little bit of what you fancy is fine. Next, we're going to pull a card from the Light Seers Tarot. Thank you, Spirit. What else? We have the Eight of Swords. Next, we'll pull a card from the Cosmic Journey Oracle. Thank you, Spirit. What else? You are perfectly imperfect. And your final message will come from the Angel Answers deck. Thank you, Spirit. What are your final messages for my Pisces souls? Unlikely. Okay, so what your cards are saying, what Spirit is bringing through with the accidents here, is how hard you are on yourself when you make a mistake or you have an accident. I'm seeing how you feel really embarrassed, and like I'm feeling like my face like kind of getting red a little bit here. Like I can feel like heat rushing up my face right now from something embarrassing that happened, something you're holding on from the past, something that took place in front of other people. And Spirit is here to tell you that you are perfectly imperfect. Just because you had an accident in the past, in front of other people, made a mistake, we are all imperfect. None of us are perfect. And it's okay that these things happened, and they don't define who you are. So Spirit is saying it's time to let go of what happened, to forgive yourself for what happened, to not be so hard on yourself, because I'm seeing that's what's happening here with the Eight of Swords. See, there's this girl sitting in front of a mirror, and in the mirror, this is like her perception of herself. She feels like she's trapped. She feels like she's blindfolded. She doesn't have clarity. But the truth of the matter is none of that is happening. The real version of her sitting outside of the mirror, this is just how she's perceiving things. She's seeing things worse than what they really are. And with the movies, with like the funny accidents coming through, I'm seeing that watching those things in a sense has helped you feel better about what happened in the past. Laughing about seeing somebody else imperfectly having an accident, it has shown you that we are all human beings, that we all make mistakes, that we have issues where we'll fall down in front of people and people see it, and other people have done it as well. So I'm seeing that when you have watched those things, it has actually helped heal you. It has helped you see the humor in the situation rather than getting bent out of shape about what happened in the past. Here is what I'm seeing. With moderation, There's something here Spirit is saying is suggesting. Spirit will never force us to do anything or tell us to do anything, just a suggestion here. Something, doing too much of something right now. Spirit is suggesting to tone it down in terms of moderation, whether that it could be food that you're eating, consuming sugar, a bad habit that you know is a bad habit, but it's, one of those things that you just want to continue to do anyway because there's something about it that makes you feel good. I'm seeing that when things from the past come up where you felt that extreme embarrassment, where you felt like you weren't perfect in a certain moment and that got into your head, I'm seeing that you go to something. There's like a vice or something that you go to prevent you from feeling those emotions. And it's actually not helping it. It's making it worse. So for me, when I don't want to feel certain emotions, I go to sugar and I can go overboard. And I have been getting so many messages on like license plate. Like after I eat like 2 donuts or something, I'll see death wish on a license plate. And I'm like, ah, man, like Spirit's telling me to stop it with the sugar. Or I'll hear songs on the radio that have sugar in the title, like Def Leppard's Pour Some Sugar on Me. I'll hear that song like after I ate a lot of sugar, and I'm like, yep, you got me, Spirit. I've got to limit that right now. But that's what I do. I go to sugar when I don't want to feel very strong emotions that I need to allow myself to feel. So, what is that for you? When you're triggered by something, what do you find yourself doing that could use some moderation? Because too much of it, of whatever it is, whether it's alcohol, sugar, food of some sort, it's making the situation worse. And I'm seeing that on an energetic level here. So they're saying a little bit of what you fancy is fine, but overindulging, it's creating a negative vibration that is kind of creating like a stuck energy around you, or it's blocking certain emotions that need to be felt even more. What's going on here with the unlikely card, Spirit? I'd like to open up my clairaudience and see what Spirit is saying is unlikely. Okay, there's something here about rage and anger. They're saying that it's unlikely that the rage is going to make you feel better in the long run. It feels good temporarily, but it's unlikely to make you feel better in the way that you really desire to feel in the long run. So there's something here about anger management and controlling your anger in a healthy way, whether that's to journal out how you feel, to get a brain dump, not filtering yourself. Who are these people that you are so angry at? For some of you, I can see that it's parental figures, whether that's your father or your mother. I'm also seeing there's other members of the family where you're holding on to a lot of anger towards. I'm seeing, even for some of you, someone who is passed on, someone who has already crossed over that you're really angry at as well. Whoever you're angry at, write them a letter. Don't filter yourself. Get the anger out. Go on a rage walk, because if we hold anger inside, it can manifest into very painful diseases such as cancer and inflammation in the body. And you don't deserve to experience that, okay? You deserve to feel your anger healthily, get it out, and let that lead to a sense of forgiveness, whether that's of yourself or for someone who hurt you that you're angry at. Forgiveness cannot be forced. I always say that, but I reiterate forgiveness so much because people who can't forgive, it manifests, like I just said, with cancer. It leads to a deterioration within the cells and within the body, and it's not worth it. Feeling that, whoever made you angry is not worth it. That is not worth it for you to feel that, okay? And you're not forgiving for the other person, you're forgiving for yourself so that you can be free, okay? Any additional messages for my Pisces souls? Thank you, Spirit. I'm also seeing, I'm like hearing the word wallop. Like I'm seeing um like a fight of some sort, or having got hit in the head, or someone hitting someone upside the head, like a wallop on the side of the head. I'm seeing that sometimes anger has gotten to a place of violence or fighting with someone, and these are shadow aspects that are coming up to be healed. And Spirit is really trying to show you that there is a better way to control your anger than to resort to hitting someone. Um, Now, I am seeing some situations where you were not the instigator, where another person actually instigated it first. And I definitely am all about standing up for yourself and not putting up with that behavior. Like I'm being shown the scene in Back to the Future. One of the first movies that I went back to the theater to go see during COVID, because we hadn't been able to go to the theaters for a while, was Back to the Future. They showed a very special presentation of that film, and I went with my sister and her boyfriend and my fiance. And at the very end of that movie, you remember where McFly he saves his future wife in the car. Biff was in the car with her, and he opens up. He's like, "Hey, you, get your damn hands off her!" I'm being shown this scene where Biff had been, he was harassing her, and he wouldn't leave her alone. And he opens the door and he does that, but he thinks it's actually Marty that's in there. He was gonna save. It was like a staged little thing that they had planned, but Biff intervened and he was harassing her in the car. And Biff gets out of the car and he goes, What are you gonna do about it?" And he like had his arm pinned behind his back, and all of a sudden, George McFly, he mustered up that anger from within. He turned around and he punched Biff. And in that moment, my angels, they gave me so much energy on this side of my body, and I was like, wow, okay, so there are some instances where we need to stand up for ourselves in that way. And I'm also being shown the show Cobra Kai. The way that they teach self-defense in that show, it is so cool. Like I love Cobra Kai so much. And there are some instances where it's okay for us to stand in our power, and if somebody is holding our arm behind our back, it's okay to George McFly them and put them in their place, okay? There are certain situations where I feel that is okay, but not to stay in that place is what Spirit is saying here. Any final messages for my Pisces souls? Thank you. Yeah, I'm hearing activate. A lot of you are being activated, and I'm being shown. Um, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She is amazing, Christina Lopes, and she has this very unique look about her. Her hair is so cool. She has this side of her hair shaved, and it's a trademark of the star system that she resonates from. And if you have ever felt an inclination to like shave the side of your head but have it longer on one side, it's it's not a coincidence, okay? Like we have like little quirky things about ourselves that resonate from the star systems that we originate from. And I'm not quite sure which star system that she comes from, um, but It's the one where a lot of them like to have one side of their head shaved but also have it longer on the other. It's a really cool look, and she even has like this really cool tattoo on the side of her head that's shaved, and I just think it looks so awesome. I appreciate when people um, stand out in that unique way with their own unique expression that shows through their physical appearance. I think it's very powerful. So if you have little quirky traits like that, it is not a coincidence. So that is all that I am seeing, Pisces. Those are your messages. If your reading resonated, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. I'm excited and honored to have done this reading for you today. If you liked any of the cards that I used, I'm going to link those in the description box down below as well. And I do a podcast with 4 amazing women called the Slumber Party Massacre Podcast, where we talk about horror films, we debate them, we play games. We're very real, very authentic. We don't sweep anything under the rug. And all the episodes can be found on Anchor. And I am going to put a link in the description box down below for your reference as well if you are interested in listening to those. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.